Taking part in motorsports may seem less accessible than other pastimes, but if you have the desire to line up on the starting grid and see if you've got what it takes to take the checkered flag, then it's not as hard as you might think. Today, the X-Car team will be sitting their Association of Racing Driver School, or ARDS test, which, if they pass, will be all they need to start a career in racing.
Currently I'm in the pit lane of the Brands Hatch Indy circuit.
I'm going to do my National B, well, hopefully get my National B race licence for doing the ARDS test.
And fulfil some boyhood dreams.
Well, I guess we've done a lot of track stuff at X-Car, we've driven a lot of cool cars, but I mean, if you want to step up to the next level, then this is where you've got to go.
For me, personally, it's about kind of improving myself, being a better driver, but having more fun and legitimately going quickly in circles.
Since doing stuff with X-Car, getting access to really fast cars, all I want to do is drive faster and faster and faster, and there's only so much you can do before the blue flashing lights go up behind you, so a racing licence seems to be the best possible option.
It's an absolute boyhood dream. I mean, since I was 7, I was setting my alarm for 3 in the morning to watch the Australian Grand Prix, and so many Sunday roasts ruined with the family because I refused to kind of stay at dinner because I wanted to watch the Grand Prix.
I don't think there's a little boy alive who hasn't really dreamed of being a race car driver at some point. And when I was a kid, like, my favourite toys were all my cars. My dad built me a little garage to keep them all in, and I would just build racing tracks around my bedroom floor.
I never thought I'd ever get the opportunity to do it. I never thought I'd be in a position where I could race.
Racing, I've been obsessed with since I was a kid, and always thought if I was given the chance I'd be able to do it really well. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
I always wanted to, but I never knew I was going to be able to. So I wouldn't say it was a childhood dream because I never imagined I would be allowed to do it.
To succeed, they will have to pass a theory test and take a practical exam. The exams the team must pass are being overseen by MSV, who are a one-stop shop if you want to get your racing licence. They've provided the studying materials, booked the track time, and probably most importantly, provided the cars for the job. The Brands Hatch Indy circuit is one of many tracks across Britain where you can sit your ARDS test. It does, however, throw up some unique challenges, professional racing driver Ollie Webb explains.
Brands Hatch was the last ever race I did in my 2010 Formula 3 career, and I won that race, so it's a very dear track in my heart. It's a very tough track to master, so to do an ARDS course there on your first kind of race licence go to get that National B, it's a tough track. So you start through what is effectively a curved straight that tends to be the favoured lines close to the pit wall all the way down the straight using the downhill part of the track, and then just as it rises up before you go down Paddock Hill Bend, it's a quick turn to the left, straighten the steering, prepare yourself for braking. Depending on which car you're in, if you've got a good aero car then it's quite quick, if you're in a less aero car then it's going to be quite slidey, moving around a lot, you lose all the weight as you go over that brow, and then the car's sliding all the way to the gravel, so you're kind of hanging on for dear life there. And then it's a steep uphill climb to Druids Hairpin. So Druids Hairpin is very tight, classic hairpin, but it's uphill and cambered on the way in, and then downhill and negative cambered on the way out, so it makes it, again, very challenging. Then you come down towards left-hander, and it's very quick corner again. Bit of run-off for a bit more room, so you see touring cars kind of taking big advantage of this. And it takes us through to Surtees. So Surtees is a quick slingshot corner which takes us round to the last corner, and that last corner really is where you gain nearly all of your time. There's so many different lines through there. There's no exit curb at all, it's just tarmac stops and then you've got gravel. So to get that exit corner right is 1 kilometre on the way in is your 10 kilometres at the end of the straight, so it's a really important corner.
I've never actually raced at Brands Hatch before. This is the first time I've been here. The elevation is actually surprising.
It has almost everything you'd want. It has adverse camber turns, it has really steep straights. It's an exciting track.
You know what, it was my dad. He used to be a race marshal actually at Brands Hatch. He was here, 30, 40 years ago, marshalling people. And then afterwards, apparently, they used to let him take his Mini round the track just after hours, just have a bit of fun, which is awesome.
It's by no means going to be a cakewalk.
With it being day,
As part of the track briefing, Nick, Drew and Alex study the track layout and plot their racing line, or at least what they think should be their racing line. With that out of the way, it's time for the first of 2 practice sessions to see how well equipped the team are to sit their tests. The team have done countless laps of the circuit on a PlayStation, but this is the first time they've actually driven the track. Quickly, they find that reality is a lot harder when you're in a real car on a real track.
Your brake to slow, not to straight. Go. On the brakes, up to the yellow. Look across. Now come across, someone spun or gone off badly. On the brakes. Just squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now boot it. Let it go. Out, 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 out. Out. Power. Power. Boot it. Good. You're braking hard too long. You're braking too hard too long.
Okay.
But it's okay. Yeah, when you turn in, right, that's it, get it. Come out.
Coming out.
Go. Go.
I'm going.
Change up, across. That's it, that's better. Good. Go.
With the first practice session done, the team regrouped to reflect on how they did.
So how did yours go?
I'm deeply disappointed in myself.
Yeah, started shaky, bit rubbish.
I don't know. I went in relatively confident, then became nervous, then became panicked, and then just let it all get to me, and I drove terribly.
I wasn't getting far enough over, I wasn't using the track enough, my braking was too harsh, my gear chains were a bit crap. Basically, my driving was rubbish.
Now, if I drive like that on my test, I'll fail.
But after a few laps, all those problems are slowly beginning to ebb away, so I still need to turn in a little earlier, but I'm still learning the track.
I don't know about you, I had a few hairy moments with some understeer, adding too much power and kind of getting a bit squirrely.
Had a little bit of understeer, had a little bit of the car going, "Ruh," but managed to fix it, no spins, no disaster, so I'm happy.
Gear shifts were poor, picking of braking point was either too early or too late. I don't think I'm winding the steering properly coming out of a bend. I'm not putting the power down properly coming out of a bend, causing understeer.
Because now, I know where the brake points are, I know where to go, like the best line, at least in the wet, because the track is greasy and manky and nasty.
When this gets just a little wet, it can get absolutely icy. We've seen, I saw a Caterham spin in front of me on my round. I think 3 cars span on yours.
And a Clio just came off.
Yeah, exactly. It's just been red flagged, so it's pretty hairy out there.
I'm happier out there than I was. I think it's safe to say I'm happier, I'm more comfortable, I'm more confident. Whether I'll pass the driving bit or not, don't know.
The practical test is only one half of the challenge though. First, the team need to pass their theory exam. MSV have provided the materials needed to study and prepare for the test, and Alex, Nick and Drew are about to find out if they've done their homework well enough.
Speaking to people, I don't think it's one of the most difficult things to pass, but it's being tested in life. It's always nerve-wracking.
I've also been told, so lots of common sense. So basically, not thinking like a numpty, trying to learn what goes on at these things, proper racecraft driving, reading up a lot.
You don't get any second chances, and there's no margin for error.
Okay chaps, we've done the written bit. I've just run through the papers for you, marked those. As we stand at the moment, I'm pleased to say that all 3 of you have passed. Well done, congratulations. The best news is all 3 of you got 100%. So, very well done, excellent stuff. So we're going on to now do the driving assessment out on the track.
So, the team have proven they know the rules, but now they need to prove that they can put them into practice. After a quick warm-up, there will be 3 laps over which they will be assessed. Any mistakes at all could result in a fail, so concentration is key. With the appropriate attire donned, it's time to prove they have what it takes to race.
You think you're a good driver on the road, but then you hit the track and it's a totally different thing. And you have to start at the bottom again, and really I'm a very inexperienced racing driver.
At the end of it, I want to become the best driver I can. And you can't do that on public roads anymore. You just can't.
There comes a point where you can't really tell the difference between nerves and excitement. So it's excitement, anticipation, nerves. I don't want to fail. I absolutely do not want to fail.
Cool, right.
Okay, enjoy it.
I will try.
Okay, it's car signalling, so I'm going to overtake.
You know you just overtaken, don't you?
Drew, I think. Nick.
I thought it was Nick. Steady, steady. You're turning too early.
Sorry. Squeeze it on, and off we go. All of the power, all of the noise, up to fourth.
Okay, and then we'll go into the pits on your right hand side.
Drew, Alex and Nick have done all they can now. All that's left is to hear the verdict from their examiners.
So how was that?
It was good actually, yeah. Yeah, you got a good pace.
Is that a pass or?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah?
Yeah, well done.
Oh, brilliant, thank you. Yeah, I got it.
That's such a relief.
Right, steady. Alex,
Yep.
you passed.
Hey! Yeah!
Well done.
I could be a racing driver one day.
So can we now say officially that I passed? Yeah. And I passed the theory already? Yeah. I passed.
Wow, that was a long time.
Alex did excellent, considering how he started like what we call Miss Daisy, and
Thanks for that.
he's ended up fantastic. No, he's ended up as he can race now.
I'm very happy chappy right now. All I need to do now is race more and be better.
I realised I was pushing harder and harder lap for lap, which you don't need to do. And I was like, I ran wide a couple of areas and outbraked myself. And I was like, what are you doing? You're an idiot. Like you need to be scared. But it's so addictive.
What it is we need to get back out and start getting more track days, start doing competitions. It has to be something.